Night had fallen in the hills of Oregon. The stars opened their eyes one by one above the wilderness. And a fire cracked low between two friends, Josh and Alice. The scent of smoke clung to their garments. Sparks rose, flickering upward, only to fade into the dark. Around that fire, they began to speak. Josh, whose voice is rooted in the soil, Alice's voice reaching for the sky. Let's listen in.
My emunah is the path I walk at dawn. It is not hidden in my head. It is carved in the dust by my feet. I tie myself to Yahweh's covenant, as a man ties a rope to a strong cedar. Each step, each burden carried for my kin, each furrow cut by my plow. This is my faith. My nefesh, my whole living being, leans into it. My ruach breathes steady as I walk.
You speak as though faith must blister the hands and weigh down the shoulders, but I see it differently. Faith is believing what cannot be seen. It is holding truths in the mind, keeping the right convictions. I need no plow, no rope, no sweat. My soul believes, and that belief lifts me higher than earth's dust. My faith is certainty, floating above the world.
The fire cracked, sending sparks into the night. One friend saw in them the endurance of embers on the earth. The other saw them as lights rising upward to eternity.
Faith cannot be walked alone. I belong to the Kahal, the gathered clan of Yahweh. We share food and bless it. We share the broken bread and the cup. We carry one another's yokes, bind wounds, sing psalms while the work is done. To walk in covenant is to walk as kin. My ahava is not words but labor, sweat on my brow as I lift the load for my brother. My chesed is not theory. It is bread placed in another's hand.
You speak of tents and burdens, of kinship and sweat, but fellowship is larger than your clan. I belong to the invisible church, joined in spirit though we never meet. Love is sentiment. Mercy is an idea. We are bound by belief, not by shared bread. Our unity is unseen, a communion of minds.
The flames lit their faces. One face bore the soil of labor and the marks of kinship. The other shone pale, reflecting only the stars.
My life is ordered by Yahweh's Torah, first given to Moses, defined by Yeshua, and expounded on by the apostles. The rising sun calls me to prayer. The Sabbath lamp calls me to rest. Festivals fulfilled in Messiah mark our seasons, like stones set in the riverbed of time. Even silence at night is covenant, when I lay down and remember his name. My ruach breathes in rhythm with his days. My nefesh remembers his deeds with every meal.
You tie yourself to days and seasons, as if holiness can be bound to clocks and moons. But eternity is greater. All time is swallowed up in forever. Why honor Sabbaths when all days are alike? Why bind yourself to feasts when eternity is already mine? My faith is not shaped by time. It rises above it.
The fire burned steady, its rhythm marked by the hiss of sap in the wood. Josh heard in it the heartbeat of Yahweh's covenant time. Alice dismissed it as nothing more than passing moments.
When hardship presses on my shoulders, it is a yoke, heavy, yes, but one that Yahweh himself bears beside me. My brothers lift my arms when they fall. Suffering binds us tighter, hammering us into one clan. The fire of affliction teaches me. Struggle purifies like gold refined. Even when my ruach falters, I rise again with their help. Struggle is covenant's forge.
You call suffering a forge, as though affliction is your teacher, but I see it as an enemy. Pain tempts me to doubt. If I keep my belief firm, I conquer. If doubt enters, I am undone. Affliction is not my companion, but a threat. True faith must rise untouched, unsoiled by suffering.
The fire hissed, sparks bursting and dying. Josh saw iron tempered in flame. Alice longed only for release from heat.
My tikva is a rope stretched forward, tied to Yahweh's promises. It pulls me into the future, as sure as seed rising in its season. I look for a harvest, a city whose builder is Yahweh, foundations laid at the throne of Yahweh, yet rooted here. The Malkut, the reign of Yahweh, will cover earth as waters cover the sea. My tikva is not escape, but arrival.
You speak of earth as though it could hold eternity, but my hope is to leave, to rise above soil and sweat, to dwell forever in light. The kingdom is not here but there, a spiritual realm untouchable by dust. My future is flight.
The fire's light stretched outward, illuminating the stones, the ground, the dog resting nearby. Josh saw in it a promise that Yahweh's reign would touch the earth. Alice saw only a glow, pointing to the sky.
Yahweh's ruach is breath in my lungs, wind that stirs the tent, fire that warms the camp. His ruach strengthens my steps and gives life to the work of my hands. My nefesh is not a ghost within me, but my whole living self. Flesh, breath, will, life together. He redeems me, all of me.
You tie spirit to body and breath, as though it were earthbound. But spirit is higher. Spirit is immaterial, essence beyond flesh. The soul is the true self within, longing to be released. Salvation is escape, to rise free of body, to live only as spirit.
The fire's smoke curled upward, mingling earth and air. One friend breathed deep, feeling the warmth in his chest. The other longed for the smoke itself, drifting into the unseen. The fire burned low, coals glowing red, shadows deepening. Josh leaned on his staff, eyes on the trail awaiting him at dawn. His nefesh was bound to Yahweh's path, his ruach steady as breath. Alice lifted her face to the heavens, her words still soaring skyward, her hope in flight. Both spoke of faith. Both longed for life. Both named Yahweh. But one's faith pressed into soil, covenant and kin. The other's faith rose into air, abstract and alone. The fire whispered as it faded. One friend spoke with the voice of shepherds and prophets. His words shaped by the soil of Moses, the cries of the Psalms, the fire of the prophets, the footsteps of Yeshua, and the witness of the apostles. His faith was organic, covenantal, alive in flesh and kin. The other friend's voice rose from somewhere else, shaped not by the hills of Israel, but by winds that came later. Ideas carried in from distant tongues, refined in halls of thought across centuries. Both bore the name of faith, yet one was rooted in the ancient path Yahweh carved through his people, and the other drifted, lofty, shaped by influence foreign to the covenant.